Have you ever felt something shifting deep within you, like your body was trying to tell you a secret it had held for lifetimes, not through words, but through strange sensations, sudden emotions, or an unexplained sensitivity to the world around you? You're not imagining it. Your body is waking up, and it's remembering something sacred. This isn't illness, it's not random. It's your spirit rising through your skin, asking you to pay attention. Something ancient is returning, and it begins within you. It often begins with the heart. Not the heartbeat you hear in a stethoscope, but the quiet from beneath it. The part that stirs when you hear a song, that speaks directly to your soul, or when you look into someone's eyes and feel their sadness, like it's your own. Have you felt that? That sudden wave of emotion that seems to rise out of nowhere? It's your heart waking up, not metaphorically, literally. You see, for years, sometimes lifetimes, we build walls around the heart, not because we're weak, but because we've had to protect it. We learn to survive by numbing what hurts. We shrink, distract, and armor up until we forget how to truly feel. But when the body begins to awaken spiritually, the heart doesn't want to stay silent anymore. It starts whispering again. You may find yourself tearing up at the simplest things: a sunset, a child laughing, a kind word from a stranger. You may feel bursts of joy or grief you can't explain. At first, it might feel like too much, like your heart has become this open window that the whole world keeps blowing through. That's not a flaw, that's healing. This is the sacred heart reopening, the one that feels deeply, not just for yourself, but for others, the one that remembers what it means to be human and divine all at once. I remember one night I was sitting alone, listening to a soft piano melody. Out of nowhere, I felt this deep ache in my chest, followed by tears. No thoughts, no story, just feeling. I placed my hand over my heart and whispered, "I'm here, I'm listening." And something inside softened, released. That's when I knew my body wasn't breaking. It was remembering. So if you've been feeling more sensitive lately, more emotional, more open, you're not alone, and you're not too much. You're just finally connected to the part of you that was never meant to shut down in the first place. Let it open. Breathe into the ache. Let the tears fall when they need to. This is how the soul speaks through the body, through the heart. And when you finally listen, the whole world begins to change. Have you ever sat completely still and suddenly felt something strange moving through your body, like a gentle hum in your hands, a tingling in your spine, or tiny currents dancing through your feet? It can feel weird at first, like your body is trying to tell you something in a language you don't quite understand. But that sensation, that quiet buzz beneath the skin, it's not random, it's energy, your energy. And it's waking up. As your spirit begins to rise, your body doesn't just sit by silently. It responds, it adjusts, it shifts, and it starts to feel everything differently. The hum, the tingles, the warmth that moves through you like a soft current. These are signals that your energy field is becoming more alive, more active, more tuned in. You're starting to feel the very light you're made of. I remember lying in bed one night after a deep meditation, and suddenly my hands started to buzz. Not painfully, but almost like tiny sparks were flowing through my palms. It was unsettling at first, but then I realized I wasn't scared. I was curious, and the more I relaxed into it, the more I could feel energy moving through me like rivers of light. Maybe you've felt it during moments of stillness, around certain people, in nature, or when you hear something true and your whole body reacts. Goosebumps, chills, warmth rising in your chest. That's your body aligning, resonating, saying, yes, this is real. You might start craving more pure things, cleaner foods, more water, more time in the sun. That's not just preference, that's your cells speaking up. They're tired of the noise. They want clarity. You might even start letting go of things without knowing why. Crowded places feel too loud. Certain people feel heavy. That's not you being judgmental, it's your body asking for peace. So when you feel those vibrations, those waves, those tingles, don't panic, don't shut it down. Stay with it. Breathe into it. Your body is not glitching. It's sensing with something higher. With something older. You are being retuned gently, beautifully to the frequency of your own soul. Let it happen. There comes a moment on the path when your body just slows down. It doesn't ask for permission. It simply refuses to move the way it used to. You wake up tired. You drag through the day. Even the things you once enjoyed feel like too much. And your first thought might be, what's wrong with me? But let me offer another perspective. What if nothing's wrong at all? What if this exhaustion is sacred? When your soul begins to awaken, your nervous system takes on a heavy task. It starts rewiring. Ancient patterns, emotional wounds, beliefs you've carried for lifetimes, all of it begins to surface, to unravel. And your body? It carries that work. This isn't just mental or emotional fatigue. It's soul deep. It's your system recalibrating to a higher state of being. And that takes more energy than you might realize. I remember a time when all I wanted was silence. No screens, no small talk, no crowds, just quiet corners, warm blankets, and the soft hum of stillness. For a while, I thought I was becoming antisocial. But the truth, I was being called inward. Like a caterpillar building its cocoon, I was dissolving, melting away the pieces of who I thought I had to be. And that process had asked for surrender. Deep, honest surrender. Maybe you've felt it too. A pull to rest, to retreat. A desire to nap more. To be alone, to breathe without rushing. It may not make sense to the people around you, but that's okay. This part of the journey isn't for everyone to understand. It's for you to honor. So instead of pushing through, what if you paused? What if you let yourself lay down, not out of laziness, but out of reverence? Rest isn't failure, it's preparation. It's your soul gathering strength for what's to come. So when the tiredness comes, welcome it. Don't fight it. Whisper to your body, I see you. I hear you. You are allowed to rest. Drink water slowly. Stretch gently. Sleep when you need. 2. Without guilt. You're not falling behind. You're deep in the sacred work of becoming. And that, my friend, deserves all the softness in the world. Have you noticed it lately? The lights feel a little too bright. The noise in public places gets under your skin. Even small talk starts to feel exhausting. You step into a room and immediately feel the energy before a word is spoken. That it's not in your head. Your senses are no longer numb. They're awakening. And that can feel like too much at first. You're not broken. You're becoming sensitive. In the best possible way. As your spirit rises, your perception sharpens. Not just sight and sound, but everything. You start noticing things you once ignored. The tension in someone's voice. The subtle heaviness in a crowded space. You might even walk into a room and feel like something's off before anyone says a word. I remember the first time I couldn't handle the music in a busy cafe. It wasn't even loud, but it felt like every sound was touching my skin. I had to step outside and just breathe. And that's when I realized my body was telling the truth faster than my mind could understand. Maybe you've felt something similar. Certain environments that once felt normal now feel draining. Your body pulls back from loud parties, chaotic conversations, artificial lights, or harsh sounds. That's not social anxiety. It's spiritual sensitivity. And it's nothing to be ashamed of. You're starting to perceive the world not just with your eyes and ears, but with your energy, with your heart. Even your intuition begins to change. It moves from a quiet nudge to a loud inner voice. You just know when something's off or when something feels right, even if it defies logic. This can feel isolating, especially when others don't feel it the same way. But I promise you, you're not alone, and you're not weak. You're just awake now. Let yourself gravitate toward what soothes your system. Soft textures, warm sunlight, nature's rhythm, deep silences. You don't need to explain it. Just trust it. You're not becoming overly sensitive. You're learning how to listen to your soul through your senses. Your body is no longer just surviving, it's aligning. And that inner knowing, that deep sensitivity, it will become your greatest guide in a noisy world. You're doing something simple, folding laundry, brushing your teeth, staring out the window, and suddenly, a wave of emotion rises out of nowhere. Grief, sadness, anger, maybe even longing you can't explain. And it catches you off guard. You think, why am I feeling this? Nothing happened. But something did happen. Your body, your sacred vessel, is finally safe enough to release what it's held for years. You see, the mind can forget. It can rationalize, suppress, move on. But the body remembers everything. Every heartbreak, every silenced truth. Every time you swallowed your feelings just to get through the day. It's all been stored in your muscles, your breath, your nervous system. And now, as your soul awakens, the body begins to cleanse. It may come as tears during meditation, as rage in the shower, as random sadness while watching a movie you've seen a dozen times. Don't push it down. Don't rush to fix it. This isn't regression, it's release. I once cried while walking past a tree I'd passed every day. Nothing was different except me. And in that moment, something buried deep began to rise. I stood still and let the tears come. No story, no analysis, just feeling. And it felt like I was freeing generations of unspoken grief. Maybe your experience won't look exactly the same, but trust this: when emotion rises without warning, it's not because you're unstable. It's because you're finally safe enough to feel. Your body is doing what it was designed to do. Purge what no longer serves your becoming. So give yourself permission. Cry without reason. Shake your limbs. Breathe deeply into your belly. Sigh when the tension builds. Your healing doesn't need to be neat. It just needs to be real. Speak gently to your body as these waves come. Say, "It's okay. I'm here. I'm not afraid of what you're carrying." And you'll be amazed what once felt unbearable will begin to move, to loosen, to soften. This is somatic alchemy. It's how frozen emotion turns into flowing light. You don't have to hold it all anymore. Your body remembers how to heal if you let it. And in every tear, every tremble, every breath, you're coming back home to yourself. There's a strange and quiet moment on the path of awakening when the things that once brought you comfort suddenly don't. Your favorite foods start to taste dull. The music that used to lift your mood now feels empty. Certain people you've known for years begin to feel distant, even if they haven't changed. And you sit there wondering, what's happening to me? Let me tell you, you're not losing yourself. You're outgrowing who you had to be in order to survive. You see, when your spirit begins to truly rise, anything that isn't aligned with your becoming starts to feel heavy. It's not a conscious decision. It's not judgment. It's vibration, energy, truth. And truth is like fire. It burns away what no longer fits. This fire is sacred, but it's not always comfortable. It may ask you to walk away from things that once defined you. Old habits, old identities, even old dreams. You might feel restless, unsettled, like you're standing in the hallway between who you were and who you're becoming. That's okay. That in-between space is powerful. I remember a time when everything I used to love started to fade. I tried to hold on, to force it, to keep being the person everyone knew. But it exhausted me, because my soul was calling me somewhere deeper, somewhere truer. And the more I let go, the lighter I became. Maybe you've felt this too. The discomfort, the confusion, the quiet ache of letting go. Don't resist it. Don't shame yourself for evolving. You're not being dramatic or selfish. You're transforming. Sometimes awakening looks like grief. Grieving the life you thought you'd live. Grieving the version of you that played small to make others comfortable. But beyond that grief is freedom. Freedom to choose again, to build again, not from programming but from purpose. So when something you once loved starts to feel like a weight, pause, listen, breathe. Ask yourself gently, is this still true for me? And if the answer is no, let it fall. Let it burn. Let it go. Because the fire within you isn't here to destroy you. It's here to deliver you to the version of yourself that's been waiting all along. You lay your head down at night, expecting the usual rest. But suddenly, your sleep turns into something else entirely. You begin to dream vivid, strange, powerful dreams. Symbols appear that feel ancient. You see faces you've never met, but somehow know. You wake up with a deep feeling in your chest, like you've just traveled far and brought something sacred back with you. This isn't just your imagination. It's your soul speaking in its oldest language. As your body awakens spiritually, your dream world often transforms into a sacred classroom, a place where the veil is thinner and truth speaks without filters. You might find yourself waking with messages, sudden insights, or memories that don't seem to belong to this life. You may see sacred geometry, visit unfamiliar lands, or feel the presence of something greater watching over you. Don't brush it off. I remember waking from a dream where I was surrounded by glowing symbols I couldn't read, yet somehow understood. I carried the feeling all day, a sense of peace, of knowing even though I had no words for it. And in time, I realized my soul was reminding me of something I had long forgotten. Maybe you've had dreams like that too. Ones that shake you, ones that soothe you, ones that leave you in tears without knowing why. These are not ordinary dreams. They are doorways into your deeper self, into the timeless, boundless part of you. Your body, your mind, your energy, they're expanding. And with that expansion comes access to realms that exist beyond the physical. Your sleep becomes sacred. Your rest becomes revelation. So start paying attention. Keep a journal beside your bed. Write down even the fragments, the symbols, the feelings, the moments. Over time, a pattern will emerge. Your soul is teaching you in the dark, guiding you through images and sensations, helping you remember who you truly are, beneath the noise, beneath the conditioning. And your body, it's not confused by this. It's participating, receiving, integrating. The mystic doesn't only pray with words. Sometimes, the mystic listens in dreams. So the next time you wake up with a message written on your heart, don't question it. That's your spirit whispering in sleep, and your body quietly answering back. One morning, you wake up, and everything feels different. Not because the world changed, but because you did. You stretch. And it's not just movement, it's presence. You breathe, and it feels like communion. You look in the mirror, and for the first time in a long time, you see your body not as a project to fix, but as a temple to honor. This is what happens when awakening travels all the way down from thought to heart to flesh. You begin to move with reverence. To eat with gratitude. To walk through life not for appearances, but for energy. It's subtle. At first, maybe you feel drawn to certain colors when getting dressed, not for fashion, but because they feel right. Maybe you slow down when you eat, noticing the texture, the temperature, the way your body responds. You speak more gently. You touch your skin with kindness. Your body becomes less of a container and more of a communicator, constantly telling you what feels aligned, what feels off, what's sacred, what's heavy. And it's not about perfection, it's about presence. I remember a moment standing barefoot in my kitchen, holding a warm mug of tea. The sunlight hit my hands, and I just stood there, completely still, overwhelmed by the rightness of it all. My breath, the warmth, the stillness. I felt whole, without striving, without effort. That's when I knew my body wasn't just hosting my spirit, that it was my spirit, made tangible. Maybe you've felt that too, those moments when you walk differently, speak differently, because you're no longer chasing external validation. You're simply honoring what's real. You begin to realize that every step can be a prayer, every breath a form of worship. Every act of care a sacred ritual. You no longer need to escape your body to find the divine. Because now you know the divine lives here in your heartbeat, your skin, your voice, your silence. You become a lighthouse, not because you shine for others, but because your light now has a home, a body to live in. This is the embodiment of your awakening. And in this gentle returning, you find something ancient and holy. You were never separate. You were always the temple. You simply had to remember. So if your body trembles, aches, tingles, or weeps, don't turn away. These aren't signs of weakness. They're the voice of your soul, finally being heard through skin and breath. You are not falling apart, you are coming alive in the most sacred way. Let your body be what it was always meant to be, a temple of truth, a vessel of light, a home for spirit. Trust its wisdom, honor its journey. The remembering has begun, and you are exactly where you need to be.